distinguished fellow guests, and all you, including especially you right at the very back. Can you hear me at the back? Wave! But the most important people here with us today are some thousands of miles away on the edge of a desert. Salam Ashraf. You are the bravest of the brave, using your strong voices to let those millions in Iran who cry freedom know that you stand with them and they do not stand alone. Despite the murderous attacks upon you by armed thugs in Iraqi and Iranian Quds uniforms, despite this brutal savagery, you stand tall and defiant, signaling to those inside Iran that freedom cannot forever be denied, only delayed. And as events in Bahrain, Syria, Lebanon and Iran demonstrate, the more a regime turns to violence against those demanding democracy, the weaker that regime is. Violence against its own people never saved any regime on this planet. Iraq's Prime Minister Maliki, like his sponsors in Tehran, stole the parliamentary election, denying people there the leadership for which they voted. That is why, in clear and deliberate breach of undertakings he gave to ensure the safety and security of Ashraf residents, Mr. Maliki is now helping his mullah masters to demolish Ashraf, killing and wounding female and male residents indiscriminately. The world can no longer avert its eyes from the crimes against humanity that Maliki has ordered and carried out. Neither he nor the mullahs can be allowed to win. Ashraf will live. And as Mrs. Rajavi so well said, arguments that Iraqi sovereignty must be respected are merely an excuse for not taking action to end the war crimes committed at Ashraf and to prevent those others now being planned. I tell Mr. Maliki this: Iraq, like every other member of the United Nations, has a solemn duty to assist in preventing crimes against humanity, let alone an humanitarian obligation. As defenceless protesters in Syria are slaughtered, the EU, the US and others move to impose sanctions on that country's leadership. When Colonel Gaddafi answers demands for democracy in Libya by slaughtering civilians, a coalition of EU states, the US and the Arab League bombs military targets. Why not similar action to underline the rhetoric against Iraq's illegitimate leaders? Why no move to ask the UN Security Council to prevent further atrocities? Why not punitive sanctions against the leadership of both Iraq and Iran, who share equal guilt for what is happening in Ashraf and what is being planned? Iraq and its masters across the border have demonstrated contempt for international humanitarian law by murdering Ashraf residents at will, injuring others and denying them access to medical treatment and supplies. I have to ask my government and others, what other crimes do Iraqi and Iranian forces have to commit at Ashraf before action is taken to stop them? What other crimes must they do before you stand up and insist that they stop this slaughter? And I have a direct question for Mr. Maliki as well. If you claim to have done nothing wrong at Ashraf and are not planning to do so, why not allow a group of parliamentarians from around the world to see for themselves? You've denied access to a delegation from the European Parliament. You denied access a couple of weeks ago to a delegation from the American Congress. If you've nothing to hide, Mr. Maliki, then you've nothing. If you've nothing to fear, Mr. Maliki, then you've got nothing to hide. I also have to ask if these brutal actions by the Iraqi government against Ashraf are what they think British and other coalition troops gave their lives for or suffered dreadful injuries. Is this the democracy, the best that Iraqis are allowed to build? I don't believe it. Neither we here, nor those listening to us, nor those at Ashraf will be silenced. We will continue to demand that the UN acts to prevent the 21st century's version of the Nazis' hideous final solution at Ashraf. Now all together, no, just a minute. No. I want you all to say this after me. Ashraf will live. Iran will be free. Ashraf will live. Iran will be free.